There's a space between that. Does that matter?
There we go. Now you'll see the chat.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, you wonderful humans. Thank you for being here. It's Wednesday. It's 7 o'clock. That means it's time for another one of our Wednesday weekly workshops where you get to ask Drew anything. Hi, I'm Drew. I'm the owner here at 3D Wellness, and I'm in my 17th year of being a clinician. And every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, I go live to answer your questions. I am joined by the incomparable Two Boots, Lori LeClaire.
Hey, hope you're ready for another great Wednesday weekly workshop.
So you can start chatting in those questions, and we'll start getting you some answers.
Woo.
Hey,
We got a full house tonight.
Yeah, we got butts and seats, folks. We love that. We love that. If this is your first time watching one of these Wednesday weekly workshops, thank you so much for being here. The way these go all week long, our email, questions roll in, people call in questions, and we have a little chat box in our lobby that people can fill out cards and ask us questions. After 17 years of doing this work, I got all sorts of good ideas, and I want to share all the info I have with all of you. I'm going to start off with talking about what we have done this week at 3D, but you can feel free to start to chat in those questions on YouTube because Lori will read them off to me when you chat them in. I'm going to take a moment to point out something. We're not live on Instagram because Instagram changed their rules and they said you need 1,000 followers in order to live stream on Instagram. We're almost at 250 followers on Instagram. So if you would please share this with everybody you know. We need more of those follows. We really want to go live on Instagram and YouTube at the same time like we used to before the rule change.
Yes.
This week at 3D, breath. Had to specify different from breathe. Breath, we were talking about some dental health issues. And there is a segment of the population that has really good dental hygiene. They are brushing and they are flossing and they might even be chewing minty gum and they still have bad breath. That is almost always the outcome of your stomach not being strong enough to actually break down your foods. And little vapors will start to sneak up of undigested or improperly digested foods and it'll leak out of your mouth and your nose. A lot of people do that a lot when that's happening. That kind of thing. That's a really common thing when we have those vapors leaking up because they're irritating the back of our throat. Little extra mucus forms there. And it's just a little clear to get it to move out of the way so you can talk. So sometimes your bad breath isn't because of your oral hygiene. Breathe. We had our first workshop all about breathing. Would you pass me the breath book?
Here. Oh, the breath book.
Yeah.
There you go.
We were going over this. It's a wonderful book written by James Nestor. Strongly recommend you read it, or you can do the audio book with it. And since we had people doing breath work, can I get the Kleenex? We've also been handing these out. I think these are adorable. Little portable pack. Mini tissues.
Yep.
But you start getting people doing, you get some boogers that have to come out. So we had some of those at every seat. So all boogers were handled. Don't worry. We have 3 more breathing workshops that we're doing. The 3rd Thursday of each month and the 2nd Saturday of each month through the end of the year. They are free. I strongly recommend you come in and check them out. Food allergy. This came up. A lot of our clients start with us and they have done food allergy testing. It can be where they do the different pokes on the skin. Some people do the blood work. And what was interesting was we had 3 different clients this week come in with updated food allergy testing, showing a dramatic reduction in the number of foods that they tested for being allergic to. They said, how could this be? In my experience clinically, what happens is the digestive tract can't break down the food, and because it goes undigested, it becomes considered an invader, a negative foreign thing that's come into the body, and the immune system gets involved with it, and that spurs on the allergy. So while clients are working with us, their digestive tract gets nourished, it becomes more functional, and they start to break down those foods that used to be an allergy, but now it's not that big of a deal to the body because it has the strength to digest it. So if you or someone you love has had food allergy testing done and the results were crushing to you and you would like to change them, please reach out to us. Sheep versus goat versus cow. We're talking about cheese and yogurt and milk and kefir or kefir, however you want to say it. The big thing I want to point out, all 3 of these contain lactose, which is a type of sugar. But sheep and goat contain less lactose per serving than cow's milk. Also, some of the proteins in sheep and goat dairy products are smaller and therefore easier for humans to absorb compared to cow's milk. So I'm not trying to rip on cow's milk. I even have clients who are dairy farmers. I love them dearly. If you're having trouble with dairy products, though, I want you to consider the lower sugar, easier to digest protein options that are sheep and goat. And then thyroid. Too many people coming in this week. Oh, my doctor wanted me to check in on my thyroid, so they read my thyroid values. They did my TSH, and they told me all about my thyroid. That is very short-sighted. That's like determining if you like a grocery store's variety based on their produce section. The produce section is important, but there's a lot more to a grocery store than just the produce section. And there's a lot more to thyroid health than just measuring the thyroid stimulating hormone. There's a really wonderful book. It's written by a man named Dr. Karatsian. It's called Why Do I Still Have Thyroid Symptoms When My Labs Are Normal? It's a really great book. And so many clients who have had all the thyroid symptoms, but their TSH was good, so the doctor said, you're fine. They have found, reading that book gave them a lot of insight into what's actually going on with their thyroid and how the blood work can look good even when the thyroid is not fully functional. That was this week at 3D.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Never a boring day around here.
I have to remember all this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky to remember stuff, but I'm also fortunate in that I have bookcases in every room. So I can just grab the book that's the reference and look it up if something is escaping my memory. Two Boots, did any questions roll in?
Not yet. Warming up.
Well,
Do we-
question that
yeah.
I would have is
Yeah.
off. It's not what you were talking about, although this was to something that I'm dealing with actually just today and another day. Well, you probably know that I had to have this removed.
Yep.
And that was a week ago. Thankfully, I'll be going tomorrow to have this taken care of.
Okay.
Hopefully everything else okay. What I found though, I don't know, because I wasn't very relaxed when I was there to have this done.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe that's the reason. I totally was not relaxed because I never experienced something like this, you know. But then once before, not so much, but today I found out that I had washed my hair and I bent over and dried it and everything. After when I didn't sit up actually, I stood up again and then I started to get real kind of like woozy.
Yeah.
I never experienced that before.
Yeah.
Why am I feeling woozy? Now, is it something that still pertained to when I had that done?
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about that. So the question was, recently she had something removed from her skin. And then later on when she was washing her hair, when she went from bent over to wash her hair to upright, she got woozy.
Mm-hmm.
So is it something about washing her hair? Is it something about the procedure you had done? That's the question, right? Yeah. So there is a fancy term for woozy. There's a medical version for what you described, and it is called postural hypotension. Okay, so postural, change body position. Hypo, meaning lacking. And then tension, in this case, means blood flow. So tension within the blood vessels. So what happened to you was you changed the position of your body, and the result of that was a lack of blood flow to all the nooks and crannies in your head. When you were like this, it was easier for blood to go to your head compared to here. It's a whole different angle, and you got woozy because of it. It's almost always the underlying cause of it. It's almost always adrenals. Adrenals are the stress handling glands of the body. You're one of those stress people. Okay, nice awareness. What I'm also thinking is having that procedure done is also a form of stress. So even if you were calm as a cucumber during the whole thing, right? It's still, okay. But even if you were, she's like, I wasn't. Nice admittance. But even if you had been totally cool and collected, it is still stressful for your body to have that kind of procedure done. So that could have been enough to bother the adrenals and get this whole thing going.
Because I never experienced something
Mhm.
like this exact thing before.
Yeah. There's something I really like for it. It's called Cataplex C. Cataplex C is major adrenal food, but it's also great for your gums and your heart, your blood vessels in your body. And for most people, it really doesn't take a lot of it. We're talking 2 or 3 a day. A couple of weeks of that, and postural hypotension is way less likely to recur. It's a good question. So yeah, could it have been stress in general, stress of the procedure, just because you changed positions, or all those things at once? Yeah. Yeah.
Why Cataplex C over adrenaline?
Really good question.
Adrenaline has C.
It sure does. Let's jump into it for a second. Lori, if I write right here, am I still on camera?
Yes.
Wonderful. The question was Cataplex C versus Drenamin, which is another adrenal support by standard process. And they both contain Cataplex C, as in Cataplex C is one of the ingredients in Drenamin. But Drenamin also contains Cataplex B2, which can have a slight vasodilator effect. And if we overdilate our blood vessels, that's what it means. It can actually heighten this. So I don't use Drenamin for that. I like Drenamin for a lot of things, but for postural hypotension, it might actually exacerbate it. Good question. I don't usually get to dork out like that. That's just one of the reasons that we really like having butts in seats. There you go. All right, Laura, I think I figured it out. The black marker and the brown marker and the orange marker are the ones that are sticking to the dry erase board. So I'm gonna stick to Christmas colors and purple and blue.
Okay. Huh.
Other questions that are coming to mind?
You got one? Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Let's talk about.
It said something about an MOPA machine or something. Maybe that's
MOPA?
the machine. What's right therapy?
Yeah, Rife therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't Rife? It's an acronym, right?
I'm not sure.
MOPA stands for Master Oscillator Power Amplifier.
Okay.
Is
Master
that-
Oscillator Power Amplifier.
But I think
And
it's
then-
right where they sit in front of that. I just saw a video.
Yeah.
We're formulating our question, everybody.
Is it not right?
Rife.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I just never heard of
We're watching all about it.
it.
We're borderline conspiracy theory
Yeah.
already. We just started the live stream.
Rife therapy is a form of alternative medicine that uses low energy electromagnetic frequencies
Yeah.
to destroy pathogens and diseased cells in the body without harming healthy tissue.
Yeah.
They say it's
Untested,
And
unproven,
yeah, right.
et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And it's not an acronym, it's actually named after
Right.
the creator of it.
Okay.
Royal, his first name is Royal. So
Oh, right on.
I feel like that.
Like that. Yeah, his name's Royal. It's a good first name.
Two brothers from a different mother.
Was this close to naming my son Royal? Oh, close. Okay. Right. So we're talking about using frequency medicine. So that's what I'll talk about because frequency medicine has been studied quite a bit. So frequency, another way to think of that is it is different notes or tones. So is one frequency and is a different frequency. And the theory is that there will be things like a bacteria. And if you apply the correct frequency, then it can actually damage the bacteria and make it easier for your immune system to sneak in there and actually handle the bacteria. Machines like this have a lot of different programs, and they'll have different things. They'll have a headache protocol and a back pain protocol and a viral protocol, et cetera, et cetera. And the idea is that there are specific frequencies for each specific problem. Now, I've never seen a clinical study on Rife machines. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I've just never seen something specific to Rife machines. But what I do know that there are studies on is the way that different frequencies can influence the body. There's plenty of research about that. So I'd be curious, my questions that I'll have to look into, how does Rife generate frequencies and what range of frequencies is it capable of generating? Go ahead.
Is it similar to, how, not really the white noise and green noise, but I've been listening to them because of my tendonitis.
Yeah.
So they have different frequencies. Is that similar to what?
It's all in the same genre. The question was, there's different songs or different soundtracks that emphasize a certain frequency to help with different health problems. Yeah. Yeah, 432 is an example. I actually tune my guitar outside of standard tuning to make sure I pick up that 432 frequency.
So that's kind of what they're referring to.
It's all the same genre. Yeah. The idea, if you get enough of that, then it's actually going to help your body do some of these tasks.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hmm.
There's a bunch of different brands that have similar tech to this. I'm always curious about how brand A differs from brand B.
Right.
Yeah, everybody says they're the best. Prove it. Good. Other questions coming to mind?
You have some more, don't you?
Yes.
Go for
Yeah,
it, girl.
fire away.
Yes.
So, okay, first I'll do this one. So, foot baths.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the ionized foot baths? Because I don't know how many people really know about them.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah, most
I
people
know.
don't. Yeah, so foot baths come up pretty regularly. And my first exposure to foot baths was at the state fair. So the problem with that happening is I was immediately like, well, that must be a total crock. Like, that must be super fake. So I was like, it's at state fair, so it's probably no good. The office I was working at, we actually bought one to try it out, and it was $250.
Okay.
And I remember we were all really excited about it. A bunch of us tried it. So for those of you who don't know what a foot bath machine is, it is a machine with a very small array. It looks like it had 4 decks of playing cards stacked on top of each other. And you put it in the water, and it alternates ionizing the water. And that's something that can actually draw different things forward or push things back. And you put that little array in the water and you watch it slowly turn the water all these different colors because it is interacting with whatever is in the water. So when we got this $250 one, we filled up the little foot bath basin with Milwaukee City water. And immediately when we put the foot bath array in, the water turned orange. And we all went, oh. We were all shocked and amazed, okay? Because we were like, look at how quickly it's pulling toxins out of our feet. Well, we came to realize maybe there's toxicity in the water. Maybe something in the water is causing the change. And we got word that there was a much better foot bath machine that cost $500. So we did what any good scientist would do. We did a foot bath with the $250 one, waited a day, and then did a foot bath with the $500 one to see, does this twice as expensive machine do more work? And what we found was that the water got a little darker. Instead of just being orange, it started to turn light brown. We said, okay, there is some difference here. Very cool. But we weren't totally satisfied because we heard of a company that makes a $3,500. That's a pretty big jump. All of a sudden, something is standing out to us. But they're claiming up and down and left and right that it is the best of the best, that there's proof, all this good stuff. So we did what any good scientist would do. We bought 2 of them. And what we did was we took exactly the same water and filled up 2 identical basins, both sent to us by the foot bath company. And we ran them at the same time on camera to show that there was no funny business. The difference was, in foot bath A, we had a person sit down and put both feet in there. And in foot bath B, we just ran the machine with water and didn't have anybody add feet to it. Because our concern was the water was just changing color because of the water, not because there was a person with their feet in the water. Took a water sample from foot bath A that had the feet in it, water sample from foot bath B that didn't have any feet in it. And here's what happened. A had feet in it, and we noticed that there were some things that, even though B didn't have feet in it, both water samples tested as having them. But then we started to get into it, and only A, only the one with feet in the water, tested for certain chemicals and certain toxic metals. And for us, that was the proof that this machine is, in fact, getting something out of the human body, because otherwise, both samples would have been identical. It wouldn't have mattered that there were feet in the water. So we returned the $250 foot bath and the $500 foot bath. We continued to operate the very expensive one because whatever people have to say about foot baths, in that little study that we conducted, we had evidence that foot baths do something.
So you actually tested the water for chemicals?
Yep.
Or
Yeah, there's a lot of different, the question was, you actually tested the water for chemicals. There's quite a few different panels of tests you can run. Yeah. And it was fun. We just took water samples, sent them off to the lab, got the report back. It's a couple pages long because they were checking for stuff like mercury and petroleum, dioxins, common environmental toxins. And the feet had more of them. So that's how I feel about foot baths. They are not all created equal, and the good ones tend to be expensive. but then they also actually do something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got
Yeah.
a funny question.
Keep them rolling.
Well, we're too serious around here.
Yeah,
to
we
ask.
only do serious stuff
Yeah.
here.
Okay, so you know, I brought my kitty in. So
Mhm.
do they ever do hair analysis on a cat?
That's a
Mhm.
great question.
Or, I mean, or a dog?
Yeah, can you do
Yes.
hair analysis on a pet?
Absolutely.
I personally have conducted hair analyses on cats, dogs, and horses.
Yep.
They are incredibly interesting. They use the same equipment. The values, the target ranges for individual minerals are different,
Mhm.
and there's very little work done on horse hair analysis. So I had to figure out a lot of stuff kind of on my own. But you can absolutely run hair analysis on cats, dogs, and horses.
We have a kitty that has epilepsy.
Oh,
She's on, what's the drug? Not gabapentin. Can't remember.
gabapentin.
No, not that. Maybe it is gabapentin.
Okay.
It's a real small dose, but
Yeah.
it's up to Heather. Maybe she could have hair analysis.
Yeah. You have a pet that's dealing with epilepsy.
Yeah.
I'd be curious if there are toxic metals that could be futzing with brain function, because I see that in humans all the time. Most of the humans, not just you. She was like most people. Yeah.
Can cats have high aluminum like dogs do?
Can cats have high aluminum?
Yeah, well, I've seen Lori's dogs,
Mhm.
Erica's, and
Yeah.
aluminum's always insanely high.
Yeah.
Have you seen that in cats too?
Absolutely. I saw it on a cat that was a stray cat, and I had questions about what that cat had interacted with, being wild.
Yeah.
It was a city cat, though. It's like, oh, you got some source of aluminum.
I wonder, maybe from cans of food that were in
I
aluminum.
wondered if they were chewing into cans to get food because they were desperate.
Maybe.
I wonder if some building was leaving a water dish out.
Uh-huh. Oh.
It was an aluminum water dish. I have no way of proving.
Yeah.
It was a fun little daydream kind of. Oh, how did that cat get all that aluminum?
Yep.
The kitties were, strays, and they took them in and fixed them. I mean, to say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
With stray animals, they can be exposed to anything.
Mama could have or whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good questions.
Do you have any more questions? Yeah.
You can tell age does have something to give us reason to talk about. But
Yeah.
I am finding that at times, sometimes I cannot think of an item that I want to mention or something, goes blank at times. And not always, but every once in a while, that never used to bother me or anything like that.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, what was that? Or certain things,
Yeah.
what can one do to
Yeah.
bring things back into the usual way of,
Yeah.
having these things in the right places?
Really good question. So the question was all about concentration, brain focus, memory. What can we do, especially as we age,
Yeah.
to keep our brain performing? And you were motioning to that
Yeah,
card.
that was
that
one of the questions in the chat box
Well,
was
let's cover
memory issues. So we're going to
Well,
be
that wasn't
helping
for
somebody
me.
out
It
there.
must be somebody else.
Yeah, it's somebody else, but
I blame all my memory.
All right, memory. So yeah, with memory, there's a couple of areas I see are predominant. So brain and heart, I see are the two biggest things that mess with people's memory. Now, brain makes a lot of sense because that's like our interface with all of our knowledge. The brain is the physical space that our knowledge interacts with. Yeah, that took me a long time to kind of appreciate that thing. Everything like think about it. Think about your car right now. Picture your car in your brain. Now point to that thought.
Mm.
You can't, right?
Mm.
It's totally real. I'm picturing my car right now too. It's nice dark red. It's got 4 tires, good bright headlights. Okay. But not those obnoxious headlights, not that kind of bright headlight. Anyway, I don't want to get off topic. But our brain is just the physical interface for all the invisible knowledge that we have, all of our memories. You can look at a photograph of a memory, but a memory itself is not a physical, tangible thing. It's just something that we recall with our brain. Second part to that is for that brain to operate requires quite a bit of blood flow. So we want to make sure that the heart and the circulatory system are very well cared for as well. In the world of herbs, there are quite a few that are very, very good for the brain. I want to talk about some of them that are specific to memory, though. And I always want to spell this one wrong. Is it Geo at the end, Lori?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Go.
So ginkgo biloba is a really wonderful one. Bacopa is another one that's really good. I like gotu kola. And then there is grapeseed extract. That's a really good one. Grapeseed extract. It's full of antioxidants, protects your blood vessels. It's really good for all that stuff. What I typically have clients do if they're dealing with memory issues is ginkgo is probably the most basic one. It's kind of like the foundational one. And then these other ones I will have people rotate throughout the year. So we always have a foundation to support memory, but then we will switch in other things that also help. So here's an example. I'll do Ginkgo Forte by MediHerb, and we'll do that January, February, March, April, May, just for example. When it comes to Bacopa, I'll have clients take that in January and February, but then we'll switch to gotu kola for March, April, May, that kind of thing. So we're always doing the ginkgo. Ginkgo is that year-round thing, month in and month out. But then throughout the year, I'll rotate into different other brain supports. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
What about that? It's called ginkgo biloba. Is
Yeah.
that the same thing?
That's the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah, very good. Yeah, ginkgo biloba is the same thing. Ginkgo Forte is just the trademarked version of it that I typically use. So that's all the stuff for brain.
I wonder. I don't think I did any of those.
Oh, okay. We gotta get you taken care of. Yeah, it's a great little product. And then if we're going to do heart and circulation stuff, I really like Cardio Plus, not just for heart, but heart and brain related things. I think it's really good for that. I also really like a product that's called OPC Synergy. And that one is particularly good for blood vessels. So it protects the tubes that carry your blood around to your brain. Keep in mind your blood is carrying oxygen and nutrients. That's critical for brain function. So a handful of my clients will be on the ginkgo and OPC Synergy just year round. Every morning they wake up, they take 2 of the ginkgo and 1 of the OPC Synergy, and people describe it to me like, Drew, I feel like I can focus again. Like, wonderful. Drew, I feel like I can actually recall things again. Wonderful. This is all just food. This is all just nourishment for your brain. That's a really common combo. I'll even rotate heart support stuff. Our modern world is kind of focused on convenience when it comes to foods. Just eat the same thing all the time. You know how to make it, you know where to buy it, you know how long it takes to cook it, etc. Or you know how long it takes to drive it through, right? I'm not as interested in that with nourishment because there are so many different nutrients out there, and I want people to get so many of them. And they used to be in our foods, but now they're missing from our foods. So I would rather have part of my job as your nutritionist be to keep tabs on how we're rotating different things for memory support so you don't have to. But then I'm going to sleep better at night knowing that you're getting this huge diversity of nutrient to support memory. Answer your question?
Yeah, it is. No,
Yeah. Right on.
Fit it in somewhere,
Yeah.
Yep.
At your next consult, we're going to have to check a bunch of them, right?
For now, I guess I'm okay with just this.
Okay.
Mhm.
But yet,
Is OPC med herb or
OPC Synergy is standard process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
every 8 weeks.
OPC Synergy, not just for memory, I also use it with a lot of people who have attention deficit disorder. It's very good for helping people who deal with that to like really stay on topic and get stuff done. When I've taken OPC Synergy, I always call it tunnel vision. I'm not unaware of my surroundings, but whatever I'm working on, I am so much more in tune with that thing. And I can use it acutely. I like to take OPC Synergy before I give my long presentations, because if I'm talk for 6, 8, 12 hours, I want to make sure that I'm doing something for my brain so I can sustain that output.
Mhm.
Arkansas next month, I'm talking about whole food nutrients. 8 hours on Saturday, 4 hours on Sunday. Yep. I wrote up the presentation, wrote up the slides and stuff. About 7,000 words went into making all those slides. But at least I'll have material for 12 hours of talking.
Yes.
need a lot of OPC?
Yes, I need a lot of OPC. Good. Did questions rolling on the chat, Lori?
No.
No, okay.
Mm-mm.
Lori, you're always good for a question or
You
two.
want more questions?
What time is it? Just rolling.
It is 7:38.
Of course I want more questions.
All right, here's a good one. Why does our hair turn gray as we age?
Ooh, very good question. As I turn to show you the grayest part of my head. All right. Gray hair. All right, so Dr. Paul Eck is the doctor who started Analytical Research Labs. They are the hair analysis laboratory that I like to use. ARL for short. He was a really incredible human. He studied medicine and then he felt like he didn't get enough answers, so he started to study other disciplines of how to support health. All in all, he ended up studying 8 different disciplines because he just kept finding there was more things he could learn about and additional ways to support the body. I really like what he had to say about gray hair. Minerals give hair color.
Mm-hmm.
So as we use more minerals than we restore in our body, our hair grays. The hair outside of your head, this stuff out here, is actually dead material. It's not alive. But it's alive at the root, where it's coming out of your scalp or out of your skin. So at the root of the hair, it has the potential to draw things back in from the hair strand. And this is why you can go to bed with so many gray hairs and wake up the next day with more gray hairs. It's not that you grew a gray hair that was that long overnight. It's that you had a brown or a black or a blonde or a red hair that lost its minerals overnight because your body went, you know what? Kind of ran out of that copper, needed some more, found it in your hair, decided to pull it back in. But then the body doesn't have any more of that copper to put back into the hair. So I'll mention a couple of them that Dr. Eck wrote about. Copper helped with red hair. Oh, sorry, I started to write the chemical name. Iron helped with black hair. Molybdenum had to do with brown hair. I think manganese did also, so on and so forth.
You forgot blonde.
Blonde. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what mineral. I don't think there was one though.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what he wrote about
It has
blonde.
no color. It's blonde.
Well, it would be white then, but something is contributing
Right.
to it. He would talk about how like platinum blondes or very blonde blondes would go dishwater blonde
Mm.
as they would start to acutely get an excess of things like iron or manganese. So that was the flip of it. Your hair can lose its color because it loses minerals. And if you get an overabundance of one mineral, it may start to show up in your hair and turn you from blonde to dishwater blonde,
Oh, okay.
brown to dark brown or black. So things that can deplete minerals. I heard you say stress. Absolutely. Toxicity, immune challenges like parasite infections, all that stuff can chew up your mineral reserve and have an influence over your hair color.
I had a hysterectomy, and within a week I had a crown of white.
Gotcha. So she just said she had a hysterectomy, and within a week of having that, she had a crown of white hair.
Just like right around the front.
There's stories all the time about people go through some traumatic event, and the next morning they wake up and they have a silver streak through their hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's a common story. Because they went through something traumatic and their body said, I need minerals to cope with this. Pull them back in. Yeah.
Does like a redhead need more copper than someone who has black hair, and someone with black hair
Ooh.
need more iron?
Really good question. The question was, does a redhead need more copper than a non-redhead? Does a person with black hair need more iron than a person who does not have black hair? To sustain their hair color, yes. For other standard chemical physiological needs, no. The one exception is that I understand they've studied this, so I'm not just taking a cheap shot at my brother-in-law, that redheads don't tolerate pain as well as people of other hair colors.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some physiological thing there. I don't know the mechanism. But otherwise, just to maintain hair color, yeah, they do. But not for like, for their blood cells to work and for their heart to pump. Not like that.
Can't copper mess with testosterone? Get too much of it? Would that make you more sensitive?
Question
Can
was,
women take less, can withstand more pain than men can?
my understanding, so a couple of things there.
Sorry.
Let's break them all down. It's okay. Copper in the body is more supportive of the action of estrogen, which is the femininity hormone, than of testosterone. So your first question was, some dude has excess copper because he's a redhead. Does that make him more likely to be less masculine? That's a very interesting question. I see the potential for it. I'm also thinking of like a bunch of really jacked, muscular, redheaded guys I've met in my lifetime. Dr. Pete is a good example. He's got tinges of red, and he's plenty masculine.
Mm-hmm.
Now the second part. What was the second part at the end of there?
Oh, just because women supposedly can withstand pain more than men can.
Yes, women have a...
tangent of
Sure. The other thing, women have a higher threshold for pain. My understanding is it's pain type specific. So nerve pain, men tolerate better than women, but I think all other types of pain, women tolerate better. And the thing that I heard was it was related to the capacity for growing life and then labor and delivery. And that it's like a requirement to actually do that. I don't happen to know firsthand, believe it or not. I don't know if you could tell this. Man, right here, just so.
Well, you know, the minerals give hair color. I am a walking. I think I'm a walking testament of that because I'm amazed that I don't have more gray hair, and I think it is because I'm so mineralized that it's holding my color.
Yeah.
And what little gray I have, they're just like nice little highlights. That's what I call them.
So then my question is, can you remineralize to get more color to your hair?
Yeah, can you get color back in your hair? You have to dig yourself out of the hole if you already have gray hair. Because you're not just trying to, you have to, if this is baseline, you're down here, and you need to exceed that so that your hair actually has an abundance of that mineral, so it can start to put it back into the hair.
Yeah.
I think you could do it, but it'd be very extreme. A lot of bone broth fasting, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd want to make sure that you were parasite free, that we were cleaning out toxic metals.
Oh man, I'm done for.
That's what I'm saying. In our modern world, it's more work than I think it used to be. Good. Yeah, it's good to talk about that stuff. Yeah, that free booklet that was mentioned on the live stream think it was last week and the week before.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We always keep free copies of this booklet that's all about hair analysis. And in there is an interview with Dr. Paul Eck where he goes over this hair color thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's grab you a copy before you go. But we always keep those around because it is full of so much good info.
I probably don't want to talk about dark stuff, but like the manganese, the mothering mineral, and when I just see people like killing their kids, I'm like, oh no, they would have manganese. Manganese.
I'll talk about manganese and about selenium. I'm not going to talk about the cryptic, the cryptic part of it.
I just see it. I'm like, oh no, I wish they had more manganese. They didn't do this to their children.
Yeah.
So manganese does a lot for us. It's connective tissue support. So that means joints, tendons, ligaments, the things that hold all your body parts in places. It's also referred to as the mothering mineral.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's because in studies they found that with animals, they found that if the mother was deficient in manganese, she wouldn't care for her babies. That's scary to see that a mineral is having that much influence on a person, that it would stop the motherly instinct from fully taking hold. I've known a lot of mothers in my lifetime. That is a very potent instinct.
Mm-hmm.
To see that a mineral can have an influence on something that potent, that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Another really good example, selenium. Mineral is absolutely critical for liver function and for thyroid function. But it is often referred to as the God mineral. Because the part of the human brain that considers concepts that are higher thought, does an almighty, all-powerful being exist that is responsible for our creation, existence, etc.? The part of the brain that considers thoughts like that is selenium dependent. So if a person is lacking in selenium, it's likely going to have an influence on their liver and thyroid. It may also have an influence on their ability to consider concepts that are of higher thought. I have a personal example of this. An ideal selenium score has a value of about 180 on a hair analysis. And this lady came in and she was at 10. So 1/18 of what she should have for selenium. And I'll be if she didn't have liver and thyroid problems. Huh. Go figure. So we started to talk about it. We started to eat Brazil nuts, because Brazil nuts are an outstanding source of selenium. For most people, it's 1 or 2, maybe 3 a day. So financially, it's very easy to accomplish. Doesn't really fill you up because we're talking about 2 or 3 nuts that are that big. Not a huge deal, right? We're also supplementing with selenium. We're also giving some liver support during this time. And we repeated the hair analysis 6 months later, and her level had actually changed from 10 and had improved all the way up to 90. That's a huge swing in the right direction. Still, nowhere near the ideal 180. But we're halfway there, so we sang some Bon Jovi, and then we moved on with our process, okay? So the selenium was getting better. It was within a month or 2 of that she came in here, and when I walked into the room with her, she looked like she had a heavy heart. Do you know what I mean? Like she had something on her conscience. And walked in, I just acknowledged that. I was like, hey, you doing okay? You look like you got something that's really on your mind. And she said, yeah, it's the weirdest thing. I've been an atheist since high school, and I'm really starting to wonder if I've been wrong. And I was just like, oh, that's awesome. I wish you all the best with that. Yeah. And to this day, I can't help but believe that this selenium improvement played some role in all of a sudden her shifting, like, I was an atheist, but I'm not so sure that's the way. Conversation didn't really go past that. We didn't get into different sects or discipline, but she was starting to have these thoughts, very different from her previous thoughts. So these minerals are powerful.
Yeah, cool.
low?
It's low pretty much everywhere.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, selenium's low everywhere.
Is it true selenium can stop an iodine overdose?
Can selenium stop an iodine overdose? It can stop iodine from having too potent of an effect on the thyroid, but iodine influences many parts of the body.
I'm not saying like extreme, but like you actually had an extra pill because you forgot how many you took that day.
Yeah. And that's just because it's going to help the liver excrete it. It's also going to help with the way the thyroid hormones get converted. And then the iodine wouldn't get sent to the thyroid anymore. It would get sent to other tissues, breast tissues, testes, muscles, other areas that use it. But depending on the dose, I'd still be concerned if they took enough iodine that still might be too much systemically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you try to overdose on iodine via iodized salt, you will kill yourself with sodium poisoning before you hurt yourself with iodine. Yeah. Yeah. Can't over it, right. Good. The chat's rolling.
Not tonight.
No, okay. Fair enough. Them's the rules, folks. As long as there's questions, we'll keep going. Anybody else in person having questions?
The brain isn't.
We need to get some ginkgo to these people, folks. That's what we need.
Give Beth a plug.
Yeah, do you have the little placard?
Sure.
Oh, she posted this on Instagram, and I was so happy she did. Bethany from Be Divine Aromatherapy is going to be here with us. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
December 3rd. There's Bethany. December 3rd. It's a Wednesday at 7 p.m. She's going to be our guest speaker. We're going to have free samples of her aromatherapy stuff. What I'm really trying to get people to understand, aromatherapy and essential oils is widely misunderstood. So when we met Bethany, one of the biggest deals to me was that she's certified in aromatherapy. And when I started to ask her science-based questions, she had science-based answers for me. So you're going to come to the workshop and somebody might say something like, here's this oil and it's good for aligning your third eye and your sixth chakra. And cool, okay, if that's what works for you. But Bethany is going to say, here's this essential oil. It contains this acid and this terpene. And that's what influences fill in the blank. So it's not all wooey fooey. It's with somebody who's actually looking at the science of aromatherapy. She left us that stress relief stick.
Yeah, what happened to it?
I love that thing. I hid it because I'm hoarding it for myself. It's wonderful.
Oh, okay.
No, it's in Royal. Yeah.
Okay.
It's tucked away a little bit, but I'm really not hoarding
I couldn't find it earlier when I needed it.
She would know too, like if you talk to her, because what my daughter-in-law was telling me is that like animals have a problem, especially cats, sensitivity to a lot of it.
To certain essential oils, yes.
Which I didn't realize.
Yeah, a lot of animals are sensitive to certain essential oils, and then other ones are totally great for them to help avoid things like fleas and ticks and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she would. Cool.
Cool.
All right, I'm going to grab Indy. I'm going to play out with all my gear that I have down here. But as always, the reason that we leave our contact info up here on the board is because we want to hear from you. Mm-hmm. If you have questions, if you have thoughts, if you have a guest speaker that you think would be great to have on here with us, please send all that info to us. We would love to know. We'll see you next week, everybody.